guys, it's Marissa
and Shauna.
And today's video is going to be
13 Starbucks mistakes that you're definitely making.
Quit making these Starbucks mistakes. So the first half is more general tips, and then the second half is more the Starbucks app and making the most of the Starbucks app. So we just wanted to kind of split it into a quick little two-parter.
So the first mistake is ordering your drinks with ice in them, which is just kind of the normal way. If you just order a normal drink, it's gonna come with ice in it. So you have to specifically request either no ice, light ice, or shaken with ice.
Yeah. And that's also why I like to order it on the app, because then they can visually see it and they don't have to like remember, or like, especially if you're in the drive-through and there's a lot of drinks, you know, it can be kind of tricky to be like light ice on this one, no ice on this one, you know? So that's kind of why I like to do it on the app. But yeah, I feel like you get so much more drink. There's so many people that are like, oh, you get the same amount of drink. No, you don't. No, you don't. And people be like,
simple physics. It's like the ice takes.
I know.
Space, you know.
Oh my gosh. And people are like, the baristas will hate you. No, they don't. The baristas at my Starbucks literally do not care. They don't care.
They don't care.
I guarantee you, it makes no impact on their day, whether my drink has ice in it or not.
Whenever I forget to order it with no ice, I'm always so annoyed with myself because the drink, like, I'm just done with it so quick.
I know, it takes me like a third of the time when it has ice in it versus no ice. And also it's good because then you can just, especially if you're going straight home, then like I'll usually get it with no ice because I'm like, well, I have frozen water cubes at my house. Versus like if you're drinking it out and about, maybe just go with light ice because you'll still get it cold, but like it'll just be a lot less ice.
Okay, so my favorite thing to order at Starbucks is a refresher or a pink drink. And one mistake that I would make is that I would ask them to make it with no freeze-dried strawberries in it. And they would always mess up the drinks.
It would be like literally a big cup of just coconut milk. Like I think they would interpret the no freeze-dried strawberries as the no strawberry acai refresher, and they would put like almost nothing in it, and it would just taste like straight coconut milk, and it just wouldn't taste good.
So now what we do is we don't modify the ingredients in a pink drink. We're just like, just make it normal. And then we ourselves will scoop out the freeze-dried strawberries.
I'll usually do it with like a fork or something. Like I'll just, cause they all, you know how they all float to the top. I just think they're so gross. Like who eats the freeze-dried strawberries?
They're gross.
I know like a few people that eat them and I'm like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Ugh, they're just, they're pretty, like they're aesthetically pretty, but I feel like they just don't, like I hate when I'm just drinking my drink and I just get a big hunk of freeze-dried strawberry in it. I'm like, ugh, it's just like not a real strawberry.
Yeah.
It doesn't compare.
But like when you ask them not to put it in, they
mess it up. Yeah. Then they mess it up and you just get, it's like a cup of coconut milk. So this one is like a classic, and it is to just get a Trenta and split it with a friend and save a whole lot of money. Like a Trenta is gonna be what, like $6 versus 2 smalls, which are gonna be like $4.25. Like, you know, you're gonna save a few bucks if you just get a big one, and you're probably gonna even get more drink. And you can always ask for an extra cup, like get a Trenta, light ice, get an extra grande cup on the side, pour it in, boom. Like your guys' cup sizes will be different, but who cares? Like you'll both have the same amount of drink. And this is good if you have a friend that gets the same drink as you.
Yeah, or even if you both just like the same drinks. Like we both like pink drinks, we both like the dragon fruit refreshers. Like we can easily split that.
Yeah, like if you and your friend want different drinks, it probably won't work. But like if you guys get the same drinks, which I feel like a lot of friends do. Like I see so many people with the little like mini refresher cups. So I feel like this would be a really just handy one if you want to save money. And again, I feel like people will be like, the baristas will hate you. I don't feel like they care. They're not getting the extra money. Like they only get the extra money if you leave them a tip or whatever. So it's just like, I don't feel like they care.
If you feel like guilty or bad about any of these tips, then or any of these pieces of advice, then just leave them a tip.
Like, yeah, exactly. Leave them a tip. I'm sure they would much prefer that.
I know.
You to like leave them a tip than to actually like, I'm sure they'd be happy to like help you rip off Starbucks by $1 or $2. Like who even cares? And it's like Starbucks makes so much money and they're always increasing their prices anyway. Like who cares? This is a good one to save money, you know?
Look up dupe recipes to make yourself at home.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. There's so many like classics that you can do, and I feel like, yeah, it's just a good one.
Yeah, I remember when you had all these different like syrups that you ordered online, like the different Starbucks syrups, and you were so into making them at home.
Oh yeah, and it's good because some of the syrups, like the raspberry syrup, they've discontinued at Starbucks. So if you were a fan of the raspberry syrup, like I was, you can like DIY it yourself, because that was a real sad day, y'all.
Okay, so I was at Starbucks the other day and I was waiting in line and the guy ahead of me smelled really bad. Like he had BO.
Oh yeah.
But like I couldn't get away from him because I was in line. So that's gonna be another tip, is to put on some
overly
perfume.
Smell good. You know what I mean?
Good.
It just sets the ambiance.
We love Dossier's new fragrances.
They're just so amazing. I feel like they just remind me of summer. They smell so good. I feel like spritz it on yourself and then go to Starbucks with your friends, get a drink, have a girls' date or whatever.
Oh my god, people are gonna be complimenting you. They're gonna be like, oh, what's that you're wearing?
Oh my gosh.
And the best thing about Dossier perfumes is that they're super high quality. They are actually made in Grasse, France. And it's cool because they're dupes of really popular scents by YSL, Marc Jacobs, Joe Malone, but they're just way more affordable and at a much better price point. So we will make sure to link Dossier below for you guys, and also have a coupon code if you guys want to save some money.
So this one I feel like is not as common. It's more for people who like are cool with like DIYing things yourself, but it is to get a refresher without water and ice and take it home and kind of dilute it with water to get like 2 to 3 times more drink. And you could even get coconut milk or whatever too if you want to make a solid pink drink, or if you just want to make a refresher. And this is a good one, I feel like, for people that don't want to like drink their drink right away, or people that drink their drink slow, you know what I mean? Like if you want like a batch for the whole week and you don't want to, because like going to Starbucks, it takes a long time. You have to go, you have to wait. Even if you mobile order, sometimes the line is really long. It'll take like 10-20 minutes just to pick up your drink or whatever, plus you still have to go there and whatnot. So I feel like this is good for like, this is good for people with a little more like lower maintenance drinks, like the refreshers, because it's like you can, you know, you could literally get the refresher base, pour it in a pitcher, make it yourself, you know what I mean? And also like you're also saving money. But I feel like the saving time and having it be convenient, like right in your fridge, is just the best part.
Yeah, that's the biggest one, because when you first told me this tip, my first thought was like, oh, to save money. But actually saving time makes a lot of sense, because Starbucks, sometimes it takes forever.
It takes forever, and especially like when you go there, like sometimes I'm like, that was a solid like 45 minutes, like just getting a drink from Starbucks.
Yeah, because if it's crowded and you have to wait in line and you have to wait to get your drink. So yeah, this is a good tip.
Yeah. So this is one I feel like if you like the Starbucks classic drinks, like the vanilla lattes, the caramel macchiatos, the cold brews, and it is to buy them in either the Ralph section, grocery section of your store, because they have them there, and it's literally like less than half the cost of getting it like freshly made. And I know that freshly made, it's got a little bit of a better taste. I'm not gonna lie, it tastes slightly better, but I feel like the taste is so similar. Like, you know, whether you get Starbucks freshly made or from the container in the grocery store, there's still gonna be tons of chemicals and like processed stuff in it. It's still gonna be a desserty, sugary drink. So it's like, if you don't mind the taste, I actually really don't mind the taste of the grocery store like brand, then this is a really good alternative for you. You know, you can just have it stocked up in your fridge, and obviously it'll cost less. You just have it right there when you need it. And yeah, I feel like it's just a good alternative. I really want to try the pink drinks, like in the container. They have like little mini ones, but I feel like I'm waiting for them to come out with like a big one. You know, like a big jug of it, because I'm just like, I don't want just like a little 8-ouncer. I'm gonna finish that real quick. Okay, so this one is something. It sounds hard, but I've done it before, and it is to make friends with the baristas at Starbucks. And honestly, this one sounds crazy, but when you go there, when you go to the same Starbucks all the time, you learn people, you make friends with people. Like, I remember this one manager I made friends with. He's not at my Starbucks anymore, but his name was Juan, and he would always make me like free drinks, or like
Aww.
he would always like, I remember one time I was like, oh, they kind of messed up my drink, but like I don't want to complain. He's like, no, it's okay. And like he like insisted they make me another drink, and I was like, I was trying to be so chill about it too. And then like I made friends with this other barista, and like I had ordered a coffee drink, and I was like, she was like, oh, you always get pink drinks. And I was like, I know, I should have gotten a pink drink. I kind of regret it. And she's like, I'll make you a pink drink.
Aww.
And then she just made me an extra one for free. So I feel like if you're cool to the baristas, like they will be cool back to you. I mean, some baristas are just like, what do you want? Here you go. You know what I mean? But I feel like most of them, like, they're just bored.
I think if
work.
you go there regularly and like you kind of go around the same time, like you're working the same shift, like maybe you go every day after school or every day after work, then you kind of get to know the same people.
And I feel like especially when you go like kind of like in the off hours where there's like really no line and it's kind of dead, and then you can just like chat them up a bit, like, oh, how's it going, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, I feel like this one is like, it has like good intentions behind it. It's like if your barista or the manager or whatever is cool, just be cool with them, you know what I mean? And you never know, because like there might be a day where they mess up your drink and then they let you keep the messed up drink too, which I always like doing that, because I'm like, yeah, I want the messed up drink. I'm waiting for the new one. Why not? You're just gonna throw it away.
So next tip is to get the Starbucks app, just download it on your phone, and to use mobile order, and you're really good about that.
Yeah, and mobile order, I feel like it's just good because especially if you have an annoying, complicated order and you don't want to be like, an iced venti caramel macchiato,
that person,
upside down, light ice, extra caramel, line the cup.
Upside down?
Upside down is when they put the espresso on the bottom. So normally they put the espresso on the top. So basically when you get an iced caramel macchiato, it's like all milk on the bottom, and then the espresso coffee part is on the top, like aesthetically, and then you mix it.
Yeah.
But if you're too lazy to mix it, which sometimes I am, then
get it upside down.
Well, it's just like less maintenance. You know what I mean? So you're not just drinking a couple big gulps of milk before you. But anyway, I love that you didn't even know what that was.
I didn't know what it was, because I never order the coffee drinks.
God.
I usually order the refreshers.
But I just like the app because you can play around, you can toy around, you can be like, okay, should I add in 2 pumps of hazelnut, 1 pump of toffee nut? You can really like mix it up, and I feel like you can add like cookie crumbs on top, and I just feel like that's just the kind of thing I wouldn't do if I was up there and like the pressure's on, like pick a drink, choose a drink or whatever.
One thing that I've heard to do is always pay with the Starbucks app, because you earn double the points that way.
Oh yeah, like never pay with cash or card. That's for suckers.
That's for suckers.
Always pay using the Starbucks app. That's like common knowledge, you know. You get the birthday drinks, and then also there's all these challenges that you can do through the app. So there will be like, sometimes it'll be like, order 3 pink drinks this week and earn 50 extra points. Like they have those all the time, like literally daily. And sometimes they're really good, like when they come out with like a new product, like that really gross olive oil drink that they just came out with. It was like, if you order it, you'll get 200 points. So it's basically, when you look at it like that, it's like a buy one get one free kind of thing. So it's kind of like, when you look at it in that sense, it's almost like getting that nasty, gross olive oil drink for free.
I've noticed that when I put notifications, it doesn't always send me the challenges. So I feel like you really do have to just keep checking on the app. Like don't just rely on getting sent the notifications.
Yeah. So this is something I believe I did like a long time ago, many years ago, and it is to open up a special credit card that gives you like a crap ton of Starbucks points, like probably enough for like, I don't know, 40 or 50 drinks. But I feel like it was tricky because I did it all, and I think it was like you have to spend $1,000 in 3 months, which is like, okay, can do that, whatever. And then like you get the points or whatever, and then you can like shut the card down so you don't have to keep doing that card. But like I remember being annoyed because I did that. I got all the points, everything was fine, but then Starbucks raised their points. So it was like,
annoying.
Instead of like having enough for like 40 drinks, it was like enough for like 28 or something. It was like, I felt really gypped.
Do you remember which credit card it was? Do they still have that offer?
I don't remember. I want to say it was like through the app though that they notified you. You can probably look it up. Honestly, it's probably a really easy Googleable thing. But I remember this was back when drinks were 100 points and then they raised them to 150. And now they're a steep 200. But yeah, the inflation. So anyway, just, you know, it may or may not be worth it depending on like just read the fine print, make sure that there's no like annual fees and stuff. But yeah, that could be like a good thing if you're like a Starbucks addict and you just don't really mind opening up a new credit card, and then you can always cancel it after you get the points. That's what I did.
I love the Starbucks baked goods. I really like the cake pops.
Yeah, the cake pops are great, but you don't want to. One Starbucks mistake is like you don't want to waste points on the baked goods, and especially not the cake pops because those are the cheapest of the cheapest. Not to mention like one bite and they're gone. Just saying.
Yeah.
But
so it's better to pay for those and save your points for like a coffee drink.
For a coffee drink, but for an expensive coffee drink, because like if you're just gonna be getting like a basic like Starbucks refresher, then honestly it probably would be better to get 2 baked goods instead. It would probably, depending on which ones you were gonna get, but yeah, no, I feel like definitely take advantage of your you know, Starbucks free drinks for 200 points. Like add in whatever you want to add in. Make sure to get the biggest size possible. Like I always think people are so weird when they get the small size for their free drink. I'm like, it's free. It's free, son. Like go all out. Go ham, you know? So that was our video on some Starbucks mistakes you are making, as well as some life hacks. Comment below any that you guys have that we left out, especially like baristas.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, bring in your own cup so that you don't have to use their plastic cups. It's more environmentally friendly. But I felt like that was so common that I didn't even want to include it in the video.
Well, but also I feel like that was like before COVID. Because I don't know.
They don't do that anymore?
I don't know if they do. You know, maybe someone out there can tell me if they do that, because I remember in COVID it was like, oh, no one brings in like their germy stuff. You know what I mean?
So comment down below your best Starbucks tips.
And also your favorite Starbucks drink. And we love you guys. Mwah. Big kiss and bye!